Welcome to Port Mapua.
Many years ago, boats, scows, cargo boats used to pull up to that wharf and they would drop off all sorts of wares and also pick stuff up. They'd pick up fruit, forestry stuff, and they'd drop off chemicals. Beyond this concrete wall there was the FCC site which produced chemicals for agriculture. 2,4,5-T, paraquat and lots of other dangerous chemicals. And 20 years ago they did a big clean up here and lots of those chemicals got released in the air, and a lot of people, particularly down Tahi Street where I used to live, got cancer, and many people died of cancer. But it's been cleaned up now, or mostly, and it's a beautiful place to live. People don't talk about all the people that suffered from the clean-up operation. It is a beautiful place.
Good morning, brothers, and the occasional sister joining us today. So I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter today, based on one question that one of you, Alice, somebody said you could make these videos shorter. But before I do make that the ongoing thing and theme of the channel, I'll put it to you guys: are the videos too long, and should I make them shorter? Because I don't want to bore anybody. Based on that too, I could make them as I've always been, and if you don't want to watch the whole video, then just cut to it. Or maybe you just want me to cut down the talk and get to the finer points. Let me know, because I'm always wanting to better the channel and better myself. Thank you for the person that talked about the corn that I grow, and yes, the heads are closer together because the wind pollinates them. I didn't know that, so they must touch each other's heads. So thank you for the information. I'm going to grow better corn in my garden. That's good. I might have a look at the plantings. I think they're probably close enough to do that, but if they're not, I'll put some in between. So cheers. One of you asked about using the smoothies putting bananas in your smoothies and what it does to the other good stuff you're putting in there. I'll put a link below to the study that was done on that. It was only a small study. Probably needs to be bigger studies done. It was only done with 8 males, but the findings were pretty strong and would suggest that putting a banana in your smoothie definitely takes away the nutritional value from your greens that you're putting in there, and it also suggests the things you could do, and it's got a list of them. It was a very comprehensive study, but I would like to see it done with a lot more people than just 8. Having said that, if you showed the study with even one person, because they did the different types before and after with the same person, so I think it's a pretty good study. I love looking at studies. One of you also, was it Luke, said in a previous video that I was talking about medical stuff and that, and he said I think these were only opinions, which is true, but most of what I'm talking about with medical stuff I will put either a link below, or I'll provide you with a link if you want to see it. So make sure that you always fact check me with science if I say something, because I also want to be proven wrong. I want to be also on the right side of logic and what makes good sense. And sometimes logic and science and good sense can go right out the window, and things can pop up and people can disprove everything, and I'm also open to that too. Always just trying to find a better way to live a healthier life. I think I'm on track. In fact, I know I'm on track because I'm healthy right now, and it's a good sign. I feel like I've got my health back after losing it for a long time, so I think I'm on the right side of things now, and that's always a good thing. What else did we want to talk about? It is going to be a very short video. Let me pause and think about that. Yes, regarding the AstraZeneca court case in the UK, the first of its kind, of a massive lawsuit which sets a precedent. And I did say in that I believe the lawyers have found a way around the indemnity that the drug companies have got with the government. Is they're doing it through the Consumers Guarantees Act, which that person that wrote to that, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, said that's not, it doesn't sound right, not doable. That wasn't your exact words, but something to that effect, because otherwise the same would apply to with the roads and everything else that we have. And I don't know enough about the legal ramification of that, so my suggestion would be for someone here that's cleverer than me and more well read than me to actually follow up that case and write below what angle did the lawyers use for that case. And it's going to be a pretty big lawsuit, and it sets a a standard really for a lot of other things that have happened where our government and your government, whatever the country you're in, has given those drug companies indemnity against any prosecution or anything that's gone wrong with the vaccine. I don't like calling them a vaccine because I think of a vaccine as a protein-based antigen, or something which actually, at least it's not quite the right word, something which, well it is, but something which is actually either the virus itself that's been rendered harmless by disarming it, so it goes into your system and then your system recognises it and fights it back, or completely killing it dead, so it's a dead virus and your system recognises that. This vaccine is neither of those. This is something quite different. It's a whole different type of thing, which I won't get into the mechanics of it, but it's quite different. So I don't like calling it a vaccine. I think it should be called a gene therapy. But anyway, your thoughts on that too. Those dogs are brilliant on the hill. Great for rounding up sheep. I'd never have them as pets in town, to be honest. They need to be running wild, and who knows, maybe that lady's got a big paddock like me and they run wild every day. You wouldn't know, but I had them as a pet before when I lived in the city as a boy, and border collies. I was looking at the prototype of the Toyota Land Cruiser EV and I was disgusted. I'll never own one. It's not a Toyota Land Cruiser in any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, all good and well, but well, I have talked a little bit about electric cars, and I would have an electric car for running around the city if I ran around the city, but I don't. I go to town bugger all, and most of my time is spent either at home on the farm or in the bush or on the sea, and occasionally I go to get something, but as a rule not much time is spent on the road for me. I think with the price of diesel and petrol that the V8 Toyota Land Cruisers are going to go up in price, because people are just not going to be able to afford to run them soon, and that won't stop me from buying one if I ever had the money to, or was in a position to. I would just go, okay, well, that's the price I'm prepared to pay, because I've always wanted one of those trucks, and I've got a lot of people talking me out of the idea as I keep on talking about it, particularly family members, but it's a hard dream to let go, that one. We'll watch the space one day. My shed is just about finished at home, just needs the downpipes and the door put on the front, and I've got my first shed that I've ever had, so I'll be making some cool shit in that. Anyway, brothers, smash out the day, and remember, let me know, do you want longer videos or shorter, and go steady. Geez, a hot day to be in the car, old doggy, and our windows are down. Beautiful boy.